In this video, we're going to walk through 5 costly mistakes people make when choosing between home care and assisted living. These are mistakes that can drain savings, create stress, and even lead to regret. And I especially want you to stick around for mistake number 4, because that's the one I see families overlook the most. Let's start right away with the first mistake, making the decision based only on the base monthly cost. I can't tell you how many people look at the price of assisted living and think, well, that's $4,000 or $5,000 a month, that's too expensive. Then they compare it to hiring a caregiver at home for, say, $25 an hour and think home care is clearly cheaper. But here's what often happens. At first, maybe you only need 4 hours a day. That feels manageable, but needs tend to increase gradually. Maybe it becomes 6 hours, then 8. Before long, you may need overnight care, and once you're paying for round-the-clock help, the cost of home care can quietly surpass assisted living. On the other side, assisted living has what we call add-on fees. Medication management, help with bathing, memory care support, those often cost extra, so that $4,000 base rate may turn into $5,500 or more. The costly mistake here isn't choosing one over the other, it's failing to project forward. Instead of asking, what does this cost today, ask, what might this cost in 1 year, 2 years? A realistic side-by-side comparison, factoring in increasing care needs, can prevent a financial shock later. Now, the second mistake is underestimating the emotional impact of the move. Staying at home feels safe, familiar. You know where everything is. Your neighbors may have been there for decades. There's comfort in that. But home can also become isolating, especially if driving becomes difficult or friends move away. Assisted living, on the other hand, often provides built-in social interaction, meals together, activities, exercise classes, card games. For some people, that environment brings new energy and friendships. For others, it feels overwhelming or impersonal. The mistake is assuming you'll just adjust. Emotional adjustment is real. If you're considering assisted living, visit multiple times, stay for a meal, attend an activity. Talk to residents when staff aren't hovering nearby. And if you're thinking about home care, ask yourself honestly, will I truly stay engaged or will I slowly withdraw? Your happiness matters just as much as your safety. Now, the third mistake is waiting too long to decide. This is a big one. Many families wait until there's a fall, a hospital stay, or a crisis. Suddenly, decisions have to be made in days, not months. And when you're rushed, you don't compare carefully. You don't tour enough communities. You don't interview enough caregivers. You take what's available. Making this decision while you're still relatively stable gives you power. You can choose instead of being forced. You can plan financially. You can prepare emotionally. You can even downsize gradually if that's part of the process. I've seen people who moved to assisted living while they were still active and independent. They made friends quickly and felt in control of the transition. I've also seen families scrambling after a medical emergency, signing contracts under stress. The difference in experience is night and day. Now, if this conversation is helping you think more clearly about your options, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We share practical guidance like this to help you protect your independence and your savings. These are big decisions, and you deserve straightforward information without pressure. So far, we've talked about the financial blind spots, the emotional side of the move, and the danger of waiting for a crisis. And as important as those are, they're only part of the picture. Because once you start looking beyond the surface costs and timing, there's another layer that can quietly create serious problems if you're not careful. And that's where we need to go next. Another costly mistake people make is assuming that all home care services or all assisted living communities are basically the same. They're not even close. With home care, one agency might carefully screen and train their caregivers, supervise them closely, and have backup staff if someone calls in sick. Another agency may send whoever is available with minimal oversight. If your caregiver doesn't show up one morning and there's no replacement, that's not just inconvenient, it can be dangerous. And if you decide to hire privately to save money, you take on even more responsibility. You become the employer. That means handling payroll, taxes, background checks, and liability. If someone gets injured in your home, are you protected? Many families don't think about these things until something goes wrong. The same goes for assisted living. Some communities are warm, well-staffed, and genuinely attentive. Others may look beautiful in the lobby, but struggle behind the scenes with understaffing or high turnover. A tour during the day doesn't always show you what evenings or weekends look like. So here's the practical step. Ask hard questions. What is the staff-to-resident ratio? How long have the caregivers been working there? What happens if care needs increase? How do they handle emergencies? Don't feel shy. This is your life, your safety, your money. Now let's talk about another mistake that can quietly cost families thousands, and that's misunderstanding what insurance or benefits will actually cover. Many people assume Medicare will pay for long-term home care. It won't. Medicare typically covers short-term skilled care after a hospital stay, not ongoing help with bathing, dressing, or cooking. Some people have long-term care insurance, but they don't fully understand the policy. There may be waiting periods, daily limits, restrictions on what qualifies as assisted living versus custodial care. If you don't clarify this before making a move, you could be counting on money that doesn't show up. Medicaid can help in certain situations, but eligibility rules vary by state, and planning ahead is essential. Waiting until savings are nearly gone can limit your options dramatically. The key here is to review your coverage before you commit to anything. Call the insurance company, ask for written confirmation, speak with a trusted financial advisor if needed. Don't rely on assumptions or what a friend said worked for them. Your situation is unique. Now that we've covered the importance of choosing quality care and understanding what will actually be paid for, we need to talk about something even more personal, something families often avoid because it feels uncomfortable, and that's control. When you choose home care, you often feel like you're keeping control. It's your house, your schedule, your routines. But if your needs increase, you may find more and more strangers rotating through your home, different caregivers, different personalities, less privacy than you expected. With assisted living, you may give up some control over meals or daily schedules, but you might gain freedom from maintaining a house, cooking every meal, or coordinating appointments. For some people, that trade feels like relief. For others, it feels like a loss. The costly mistake is not having an honest conversation with yourself and with your family about what independence truly means to you. Is independence staying in your physical home no matter what, or is it having support that allows you to focus on living rather than managing? These aren't easy questions, but avoiding them can lead to resentment later. I've seen seniors move into assisted living to please their children, only to feel bitter. I've seen others stay at home to prove a point, even as daily life became harder and lonelier. You deserve a choice that aligns with your values, not just your fears. And as we move forward, there's one more mistake that can undo even the best laid plans. One that often doesn't show up until months after the decision is made, when changing course becomes more complicated and expensive than anyone expected. And that final mistake is failing to plan for what happens when your needs change. This is the one that quietly catches people off guard. Everything seems fine at first. The home caregiver is coming a few hours a day, or the assisted living apartment feels comfortable and manageable. But aging isn't static. Health can shift slowly or suddenly. If you're receiving care at home and you develop mobility issues or memory problems, your level of supervision may need to increase dramatically. That can mean more hours, higher costs, and sometimes even home modifications. Ramps, grab bars, stair lifts, bathroom renovations. Those expenses add up quickly. And if your home has multiple levels or narrow doorways, it may not adapt easily, no matter how much money you put into it. On the assisted living side, not every community can handle advanced care needs. Some places require you to move again if memory care or skilled nursing becomes necessary. Imagine settling in, making friends, getting comfortable, and then being told you have to relocate within a year because your health has changed. That second move can be emotionally exhausting and financially draining. Entrance fees, new deposits, new contracts, it's a lot. The smarter approach is to ask right from the start, what happens if I need more help? If you're considering home care, talk honestly about how scalable the support can be. Is 24-hour care realistic in your home? If you're looking at assisted living, ask whether the community allows aging in place. Can they handle increasing care needs without forcing another move? Planning for change isn't negative, it's practical. It gives you stability in an uncertain future. When you step back and look at all 5 mistakes together, a pattern starts to appear. People get into trouble when they focus on only one piece of the puzzle, just the price, just the comfort of home, just what feels urgent in the moment. But this decision touches your finances, your health, your relationships, and your emotional well-being all at once. There isn't one right answer for everyone. Some people truly thrive at home with the right support system. Others blossom in assisted living, surrounded by activity and community. The key is making a thoughtful decision, not a reactive one. Take your time if you can. Visit more than once, run the numbers realistically, involve your family, but don't silence your own voice. Ask yourself where you will feel not only safe, but at peace. And remember this, choosing more support is not a sign of weakness. It's often a sign of wisdom. It's recognizing that independence isn't about doing everything alone. It's about creating a life where you can enjoy your days without constant strain or fear of what might happen next. If you're wrestling with this decision right now, I'd really like to hear from you. Are you leaning towards staying at home, or are you considering assisted living? What worries you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience could help someone else who's feeling unsure. If this conversation has given you clarity or helped you spot something you hadn't considered, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. My goal here is simple, to give you straightforward guidance so you can protect your freedom, your finances, and your quality of life. At this stage of life, you've earned the right to make decisions that truly serve you. With a little planning and honest reflection, you can avoid costly mistakes and choose a path that supports both your independence and your peace of mind. Here's to making smart choices, staying informed, and living well on your terms at any age.